All right, next up, we got Fernando Martinelli of Balancer. It's like an AMM on steroids. Let's hear all about it for Fernando.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. So, I'm Fernando from Balancer. It's great to be here after 2 years. ETH Denver 2020, we were only 3 people, hadn't launched yet. A lot happened. And yeah, it's great to see how much the space has evolved. I think we all share here a purpose of trying to make the world a better place by using Ethereum. And in DeFi, we have to fight to make finance more accessible, more inclusive, and more transparent. This is not going to be an easy battle. You all know that. But we have to fight together. We have to divide to conquer. We have to focus on different problems, make sure the solutions we come up for them are composable, and then we'll win. Balancer's role in all of this is to be the platform for programmable liquidity. We want you to build the next generation AMMs or the next generation programmable liquidity solutions. Let me get into more detail to explain what this means. Going back in time, Balancer V1 launched in June 2020. What Balancer V1 is an AMM that allows you to create pools of up to 8 tokens, any arbitrary weights, any swap fees you want. Seen very interesting projects using Balancer V1, like Yearn. They launched the YFI token using a 98.2 pool. Aave and other projects use an 80-20 pool that allows you to have to be bullish on the 80-20 on the 80 token and still provide liquidity and not have a lot of impermanent loss. But it's like clear that there's no one solution fits all in AMM. Like you need to have specific AMM functions invariants to solve for different problems. You see how Curve did it so well with stablecoins. So we figured we create a platform for AMMs, which is Balancer V2. So instead of trying to find solutions for AMM problems, we want to make it easy for you to come up with solutions and launch your own AMM. And this is what's Balancer V2 about. But it's not only AMMs that we're helping people build, it's programmable liquidity. What's programmable liquidity? If you have a protocol or a smart contract that has 2 tokens or more, and you need them to rebalance, you need them to have more exposure, or just to swap between the tokens, that's programmable liquidity. You should be considering using Balancer if you have some sort of programmable liquidity. So Balancer V2 separates the management and accounting of tokens at the vault level from the logic of the AMM. So instead of having like everything in one smart contract like Uniswap, Balancer V1, all AMMs have, Balancer V2 has a vault that is very efficient at handling tokens. And you just have to worry about the logic of your AMM. So when you do an arbitrage, usually you send lots of tokens all around. You call lots of smart contracts. With Balancer V2, you just call the vault, and it takes care of the rest. You just get the profit you have from the arbitrage. You might be asking me, like, how much of a difference it really makes, right, in terms of gas and efficiency. It makes a lot of difference. The usual arbitrage, selling token A for B, B for C, C for A, which gives you more A, so you get some A back. You can't read, right? But it's 600,000 gas. With Balancer V2, it's much more elegant. You just get the profit from the vault, and it costs 146K. So it's more than 4 times cheaper. So that's the idea. Like you just work on what adds most value, which is the AMM logic, your innovation, and we take care of the boring stuff, the low-level stuff. We spend a lot of time working on security, like maybe $1 million in audits. We have one of the biggest bounties, 1,000 ETH. So if you're a white hacker, take a look at that, 1,000 ETH. We have worked a lot to make all the optimizations possible. So gas costs in V2 are really, really low. So as I said, we do all the low-level stuff, and you only have to care about the logic. So if you're still not convinced, you should use Balancer V2 to build your programmable liquidity solution. If you, let me tell you this, if you were to create your standalone solution, it wouldn't be used by like traders, by keepers. You would have to ask them to integrate that, and that takes a lot of time and effort. And Balancer gives you that out of the gate. So if you use Balancer, you have access to our SOR Smart Auto Router. And then you also have fast track to all main aggregators, which we know and have a close connection to, have an interface with them. So if you build on Balancer, you get all of that out of the box. And there's lots of network effects as well of other projects building on Balancer. Now the fun part. I like to say that Balancer's success is the success of the teams and projects that are being built on top of Balancer. Who are these guys? Element Phi, they're going to talk here also in a minute. These guys are awesome, Will and team. They're building a fixed rate interest protocol. And that AMM is for tokens that expire after some time. So that's a good example of a type of AMM that has to be special for it to work and to be optimal. Tempus and Sense as well in the fixed rate space. Stablecoins, Fate protocol, also programmable liquidity. They control the exposure to risky assets based on how much collateralization ratio they have on top of their PCV, protocol control level. So if they're too collateralized, automatically they change value from stablecoins to risky assets. If they're they have a low collateralization ratio, then they actually sell from risky assets to stablecoins using Balancer. Gyroscope Finance. These guys are gigabrains. When they launch, you're going to be mind blown. They're doing some serious math, like innovation on top of Balancer V2. Very excited, launching soon. Copper, they use our LBPs for token generation events. They just launched late last year. They have more than 50,000 unique ETH addresses already participating in token events. PrimeDAO as well. Index products that are smart and change tokens automatically. Index Finance, Power Pool protocol. CowSwap, one of my favorites. They use the Balancer's Vault to have cheap settlement. Aave, you all know Aave. They use 80/20 Balancer pools to make sure that you can stake and still provide liquidity and be bullish on Aave. And so much more. Now, just a last teaser, we just approved, our governance approved the new tokenomics where you have to lock BAO to be able to vote, the well-known VE system. The BAO wars are starting, so if you're a project and you want to direct where liquidity mining goes, pay attention to that. Yeah, and thank you for listening. Let's chat. We're here these 3 days and giving $50K of grants. Thank you so much, guys. See you around.
Fun fact about Balancer, me and Ryan, we tokenized these shirts and tried to sell them on Uniswap, but because of the Uniswap's price curve just went like vertical way too fast, we had to use Balancer to slope out the curve, and it worked. Yeah, and there's that. Thanks, Fernando.